Now, I'm in a sync file, and I may wish to return this SmartSync file to a non-sync state. Each time a change is made to a sync file, a record of the change is written to its corresponding SmartSync log. Since these log files can grow in size and occupy disk space, engagement files with large sync logs can be reset to reduce the size of the top-level parent file and to improve the download speed when creating new sync copies. The synchronization properties dialog provides a list of all sync copies, and that is found through the menu at the bottom and selecting the properties dialog. And here we can see there are actually 3 sync copies of this particular file located on this computer or on other computers. Before carrying out the procedure to return a file to its non-sync state, you should try to have as much information as possible about the state of the data and the work on the client file that you're returning to a non-sync state. This file should have synchronized all of the current work on the file before proceeding. This will prevent lost work when sync copies are deleted or abandoned. So to reset a SmartSync file with a large sync log, what we would do is delete synchronized copies in working papers. So sync copies should be deleted through working papers, not through Windows Explorer. So I'm going to close this, and I'm going to go to Gary's copy, and he would go to the File menu and select Delete Synchronized Copy. Working Papers automatically sends all outstanding synchronization events to the top-level parent file before the sync copy is deleted. And this, again, is the only mechanism that you should be deleting a synchronized copy with. So we opened the synchronized copy, we were online with the parent file, and I selected Delete Synchronized Copy from the File menu. Note that this menu option is available only when the sync copy is online. Now, let me get out of Gary completely and return to mine. I'm still online with the parent, and I need to double check here under Properties to see if anyone else is out there. And it appears that someone else has a sync copy. Now that file was actually on a computer that was redone for a new staff member, and when that was done by IT, they forgot that that file was out there. So it really isn't out there anymore, and I can't get that back into my parent file. So instead, I may have to abandon synchronized copies from time to time. So I'm going to close this. If a staff member is unable to delete their sync copy of the engagement file, that sync copy should be abandoned before proceeding. When a sync copy of a file has been abandoned, it can no longer reestablish a connection to the top-level parent or to any other sync copies. Now, very important, we don't want to just randomly abandon sync copies. If the staff member is available, and you can contact them and they haven't lost or damaged their computer, ask them to get online with their file and delete their synchronized copy. But if the computer was damaged, lost, stolen, if it was redone without realizing that there were sync copies on it, then in those situations, you will want to abandon your sync copy. So under the Tools menu, we have Maintenance. And this can be done from the parent file if the parent file is on your file server. For me, I have to do it from a sync child copy. Now it's going to show me all the sync copies that are available when I choose Abandon Synchronized Copies. And then I click Next. This is going to show me those files that are listed according to the parent. Now because it's going back to the cloud, it's taking a moment to find that list for me. And so I'll just have a little bit of patience as it does that. As soon as it does find the list, it will present it to me and show me which ones, first of all, which one I'm in currently, and the other ones. Now, I cannot abandon a sync copy that I'm in, because I'm in it, and I cannot abandon a sync copy that's currently online. But this one is offline, and it may have been deleted inappropriately, or any of those other situations that I mentioned. So I'm going to select it and click Next. And it's prompting me, do I really want to abandon that file? And I'm going to say Finish. And that sync copy is now gone. Now, at this point, because the file is in the cloud, for me to make this a non-sync copy, what I would do is go to the File menu and select Backup. In selecting Backup, I would include subfolders, but I would not include the sync folder, and I would click OK. Now, I'm going to leave that going to my Documents folder, and there's a lot in my Documents folder, but I'm going to click OK here and create that backup of ABC Limited. Now the next stage, because I'm trying to put this into a non-sync, when I'm in the cloud, I'm going to go to the File menu and delete Synchronized Copy. Now, I still have the parent file in the cloud, the synchronized copy, so I've already logged into my cloud environment, and there's my ABC Limited file, the file that I was working in. And if I look at my SmartSync summary right now, I'll do a little refresh here. There are no users in a sync environment in this file. I know I have a backup of the file, so under Actions, I would just go to Delete to remove this file as well. Now, if this file had been located on my computer, and I actually have an example. So I have the parent file here of a different file. I could open it directly, and Emily is the partner in this situation. And I could either go to Tools, Maintenance, to abandon sync copies that are out there, and I've got 3 files that are out there. I don't want to abandon them because I actually have access to them. Instead, I would go into each one of those and remove it. Once those were abandoned or removed, I could then go to File menu and select Clear Synchronization Information. That would cause the local parent file on the file server to no longer be a sync file, allowing me to access it and use the sign out feature, etc. that is currently grayed out because it is in a sync state. We also want to consider updating client files in a SmartSync environment. If your client file has been synchronized using SmartSync and you want to update the client file to include updates to the audit or financials template that was used to create the file, you'll need to use one of 2 methods to ensure that your client file is updated properly. The first method is to return the SmartSync file to a non-sync state and then perform the update. The second method is the approach to use if you're using SmartSync Server or Collaborate to synchronize your files. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up that ABC Limited file that I was in previously. I did not delete it, which was on purpose. So it's going to take a moment as it downloads a sync copy to my desktop. That file that it's bringing down is a compressed file, so I use less bandwidth. And as soon as it's downloaded, it's going to go through the syncing process. So I would update it based on my templates, and we'd follow the template update instructions at that point. Now, once that update was finished on the synchronized child, I would then use the File Replace Server Copy option to replace the top-level parent on the server with the child copy that I've just updated. And this goes through and repairs the file, creates the compressed copy, which is going to replace the parent copy online. So now it's publishing in the lower right-hand corner. We can see that, and it puts us back into an online state as soon as the publishing is completed. Now, for more details on replacing server copies, we have the Publishing and Replacing Server Copies help topic in the CaseWare Working Papers help.